Hey, shuckalaka kapow, how's it going, old schoolers? You are kicking it old school with Russell J.S., and I am your host, Russell J.S. Well, summer is once again upon us. That one time of the year where it gets a little bit hotter, a little bit warmer. School gets out for about 2.5 months, maybe 3 months, wherever your neck of the woods would be. And you got the kids that are going to school. They just got promoted to the next grade for when they return in early August, late August, or early September. And meanwhile, you got it where high schoolers, juniors are going to be incoming seniors. They're going to be contemplating, what's going to happen in the next year? This is the last year of school next year, and what college am I going to go to? Am I going to have to go in the military to go to college? Or do I just spend my life working regular jobs? And of course, you got the incoming freshmen who are wondering what's going to become of them as they enter the high school hallways. Same thing with the upcoming sixth graders who are going to be wondering what it's going to be like to go into junior high. And upcoming kindergartners. They're going to be afraid of what's to become, but let's not go diving into that. Well, I want to talk about the joys of summer. Barbecues, 4th of July, being out with your friends all day long until it's almost like Saturday every day. You go out in the afternoon with your friends and play until the street lights come on. No homework, no going to school. Family vacations, whether your family decides to start the summer by going on that 1 or 2 week long vacation, or just end the summer with a bang like that. And then all kinds of things, summer jobs, going to camp, restoring that one particular car. Maybe your boss invites you over to his place on the beach for a weekend and you find him dead. And all those times on the beach too. The beach, amusement parks, and like I said, 4th of July. And of course, every summer on July, I celebrate my birthday. Next month, I'm going to be 48, but, I'm not even dreading 2 years from now when I hit the big 5-0, or should I say the big 5-0. But what I have here is movies based around the theme. My top 10 favorite movies. Now, there was a whole bunch of them I wanted to do, but I can only fit 10. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to do my top 10 favorite movies that are themed and based around the summertime. Some of these are going to be, majority of them are going to be comedy, and a couple of them are going to be horror. And remember, if you're new to the channel, hit a like, subscribe, leave comments in the box down below, ring the bell down there for notifications for future videos, and tell your friends, your family, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, your cousins, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your coworkers, your roommates, your classmates, your pets, anybody who's anybody or how about your nieces, your nephews, your sons, your daughters, anybody who's anybody that wants to kick it old school. So, without further ado, let's get the countdown of these bad Oscars rolling, shall we? Starting number 10. Now, I got the 8-film DVD collection. I don't know where my single DVD copy is, but Friday the 13th. Man, this movie right here, it made people not want to camp alone, not send their kids to camp, not go skinny dipping, not fool around, not do drugs out in the woods alone. But the very first movie in 1980 starring Betsy Palmer, it went ahead, it started it all, made Jason a pop culture icon, not just of the 80s, but for generations to come. So yeah, you picked that one up. And then number 9 on my list, because I'm a big Bill Murray fan, Meatballs. Think Animal House goes to summer camp. I think this might have been one of those movies where they wanted John Belushi to reprise another yet Bluto-like character, but he was refusing. He didn't want to constantly live as the Bluto character throughout his career. But yes, starring Bill Murray, I think this was his first, major starring movie role, where he leads a ragtag group of counselors and kids through a crazy summer camp filled fun. So pick this one up. And then number 8, Summer Rental, starring John Candy. John Candy plays your average suburban Chicago family man who wants to take his family, his wife, and 2 kids on a vacation from Chicago down to Florida, rent a beach house so he could have fun with his family. It's kind of like a Griswold kind of deal, it's more of a family appropriate version of National Lampoon's Vacation. But it is lots of fun. It helped put John Candy on the map. So that's number 8. Number 7. This is where I was talking about, spending the summer as a hobby restoring autos. Corvette Summer, starring Mark Hamill and Annie Potts. Now, this movie in particular, Mark Hamill was just fresh off doing the original Star Wars. So he was fresh off doing Luke Skywalker. And it's also got Danny Bonaducci, who is way fresh off The Partridge Family. In this one, Mark Hamill and a group of high school buddies for shop class, they get a banged up, beat up 72 Stingray from a junkyard. They fully restore it. And then Mark Hamill goes ahead with his buddy and drives around. They go to get burgers, and then it's gone. So Mark Hamill goes on a wild goose chase from Southern California to Las Vegas to retrieve this Corvette. It makes me wonder if Tim Burton and Paul Rubens got the same idea for Pee-wee's Big Adventure, where Pee-wee was zigzagging across country looking for his bicycle. It's kind of cheesy and corny, and you got Annie Potts pre-Ghostbusters playing a prostitute that helps him along the way, and she redeems her life. So here's another one from 1978, Corvette Summer. That's number 7. Number 6 on the list, Dazed and Confused. Now this movie right here, it's a period comedy that came out in, toward the fall of 1993. And what it's about is, all the teenagers in a small town in Texas on the last day of school in 1976. They go out on a big old beer bash party, contemplating life, what life will be like once they graduate high school. And everybody's in on the party, the jocks, the stoners, the cheerleaders, the jerks, and a longtime high school graduate played by Matthew McConaughey. And this movie, this helped be the launch pad for some big names in cinema. Like I did mention Matthew McConaughey. Also, you might an actor named Colt Hauser, who is Rip from the show Yellowstone, and Ben Affleck. So, this one, it's kind of like, American Graffiti of the 1990s, only set in the late 1970s. It's got a soundtrack with killer tunes by Kiss, Black Sabbath, Leonard Skinner, Ted Nugent, and, Alice Cooper. So here's a good one to pick up right here, and it's very period accurate. I mean, you would actually believe you're watching a movie from the 1970s. Okay, so number 6 on the list, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, number 6 on the list. Here's where we go into summer jobs. Again, another Bill Murray romp, and it's also, with Chevy Chase, and it's Rodney Dangerfield's first movie, Caddyshack. This one is Animal House on the golf course. And it was co-written by 2 of the writers of Animal House, the late Doug Kenny and the late Harold Ramis, directed by Harold Ramis and produced by Doug Kenny. And it, like I said, it stars Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, Ted Knight, and Rodney Dangerfield. About a bunch of caddies who are wanting to score with the girls, like typical teenage stuff. It's mainly about a boy, a caddy, who is trying to save money because he wants to go to college and make something of himself. And Bill Murray plays the crazy groundskeeper Carl Speckler, who's trying to eliminate the gopher problem on the golf course. And Chevy Chase as Ty Webb, the crazy tycoon millionaire who's always good at winning golf. And Rodney Dangerfield, and it's just a crazy, fun-filled party. So yeah, here's one to check out right here, Caddyshack. It's a classic. Okay, and number 5. Let's see, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, number 5, Weekend at Bernie's. Two executives at an insurance firm in New York City uncover an embezzling policy that's money was embezzled, so they bring it to their boss's attention to, say, hey, this is what's going on. I think we caught something. And their boss invites him over as a reward to his house on the beach over in the Hamptons. But what happens is they arrive to find that their boss has long since died, was killed, and they go ahead all over the island pretending he's alive just so they can enjoy their trip on the island. And it just becomes a crazy madhouse of gangsters, bodies, babes, and all around fun, starring Jonathan Silverman and Andrew McCarthy and Terry Kaiser. Weekend at Bernie's. Now, this has a sequel called Weekend at Bernie's 2, but I didn't add sequels because I just wanted to do the ones that started it. And number 4 on the list, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wait, number 8 on the list. Of course, I'm a Dan Aykroyd fan. And also, it's another one with John Candy. The Great Outdoors. Dan Aykroyd and John Candy are two brother-in-laws who can't really stand each other. John Candy is the suburban family man from Chicago who takes his family this time out to the woods, to a cabin out in the woods for a week, only to be bombarded with Dan Aykroyd and his family, who Dan Aykroyd is a smooth-talking, misogynistic yuppie who just mocks everything that John Candy is into. But, it just goes into a big, in-law versus in-law battle royale, who's going to show the most fun. And then in the end, they do learn to get along with each other. So if you haven't seen this is one worth picking up. And number 9 on the list, the one that started the family vacation movie phenomenon. We look no further than Chevy Chase in National Lampoon's Vacation. In this movie, Chevy Chase, as you know, takes his wife and son and daughter on a cross-country road trip from Chicago to LA to go to Wally World, which is supposed to be right there up with Disneyland, one of the biggest theme parks in America. And disaster starts when he picks up the brand new car, and it's not the car that he wanted. It's just this big, bulky, ugly station wagon with 8 headlights, puke green color with fake wood paneling, and just has a tendency to let the airbag go off even when there isn't an accident. And, shenanigans all across the country with the Griswolds, like an elderly aunt dying and being strapped to the roof because the kids don't want to ride with a dead person in the car. Oh, just multiple miles of hijinks in this one. Now, last but not least, this is the one movie that started the summer blockbuster phenomenon. The one movie where people were afraid to go in the ocean. Steven Spielberg directed, based off the novel by Peter Benkley, starring Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, and Richard Dreyfuss. You'll be afraid to go in the ocean again after you see this. 1975's Jaws. How can I not have a countdown of favorite summer-themed movies with not only not putting this in, but not making this my number one pick. Yes, a small island town of Amity has a shark problem. Only Chief Brody knows what to do, but the mayor keeps blowing him off just so he can make the summer dollars for the winter. And it becomes an all-out battle royale against man and fish. Anybody who's anybody that's worth their soul knows this movie, and if you haven't seen it, pick it up. And there you go. There you have it. My top 10 favorite summer-themed movies. What are your top 10 favorite themed summer movies? I'd like to know. I mean, summertime is here. You know, I'm sure we're all excited for the summer blockbusters and what we're going to do for the summer. Heck, I'm getting ready pretty soon because I got to go down to Dollar Tree. I'm going to the movies to go see the new Masters of the Universe. I'll let you know how that turns out. And, you know, I got to stop over at Dollar Tree to pick up snacks to smuggle in. I'm not going to pay no $5 or $6 for a small box of M&Ms or Reese's Pieces when I get the same dang thing at Dollar Tree for $1.25. But there you have it. Those are my favorite top 10 summer-themed movies. Remember, tell me what your favorite movies were. What were your favorite good times of the summer? Chime in with me. I'd love to correspond with you. And I'm also going to be getting some album versus albums ready. And like I said, mark that calendar for June 23rd when Batman 89 takes on Batman Begins. And also for August 24th, mark your calendar when Pantera Cowboys from Hell goes up against Damage Plan Newfound Power. At any rate, this is all the time I have for this video. Remember, keep it fresh, keep it chill, keep it real. Keep kicking it old school, watch old school movies. Oh, watch old school movies, listen to old school music, watch old school TV shows, play old school video games, and get you enough of love, get you enough of peace, get you enough of tranquility, get you enough of less chaos, less drama, no trauma, and just keep it real. And as always, I always like to wish you Godspeed. May the force be with you always, and shakalaka kapow.